Oh, my dear, oh, my beloved, waiting both day and night for you, waiting both day and night for you. Oh, the sun is burning and still is burning. Oh, the sun is burning and still is burning. Has your beloved also forsaken you? Has your beloved also forsaken you? Oh, my dear, oh, my beloved, waiting both day and night for you. Everything is burning around you. Oh, my dear, oh, my beloved, oh, my beloved, oh, my beloved, oh, my beloved, waiting both day and night for you. Everything is burning around you. Rain falls on hard rock and mountain. Rain falls on hard rock and mountain. So the lake water rushes through. Where is humility? There are you. Oh, my dear, oh, my beloved, waiting both day and night for you, waiting both day and night for you. Oh, the world is flooded, all is useless. Oh, the world is flooded, all is useless. Rainbird is looking for a drop from you. Rainbird is looking for a drop from you. Oh, my dear, oh, my beloved, oh, my beloved.
Okay, my dear sisters and brothers, we have assembled over here in commemoration of some very great personality. And we are too small, too little in understanding and also in feelings. Our hearts are too little, it cannot accommodate ocean, we being a small cup. And if we begin to speak something about the ocean, it will not be that we will be able to do any justification. But we have to just share with each other. Some people have got something, other people have also got something. And that is also coming to our satisfaction that we have found something about some great man. And that also really satisfies us that we have found something, we have known something. Although it is very little, too little, it is just next to nothing. But still, for our satisfaction of hearts, we have to go along. That is also good that we may have something. And that I have been very much in contact with the spirituality. Although personally I was not very much in physical presence of the Master, and I had also lived very little after initiation with him. My Master enjoyed the company of his Master for about 24 or 25 years. And he would have enjoyed really wonderful experiences and personal radiations and or personal guidance being in his presence for 25 years. I could not have such like opportunity. I had only that in the end of the 65th year I was initiated and Master left the body in the middle of the 74th. It becomes only about 8.5 years that I was initiated, and after that I was deprived of this food which was really needed by the soul, that it may develop. That if a child is really grown up and can sustain itself, then it is okay that the parents may not be there. But when the child is still not grown and is still needing the help and guidance of the parents, as the parents leave, then that becomes really hard for the child to sustain, to live, and to keep that kind of life which has been given to by his parents, that he may continue. So I cannot consider myself as such a lucky one that as I wished or other masters have been able to enjoy. But still I can say that my Master has not gone. He has not left his self, but he has no doubt come out of that physical body. When he was in last years, and there was a driver who was very much there too close to his heart of the Master. And he was sitting by the side of the Master, and they were alone together. And the Master was expressing his heart to his dear driver. It was not only driver, but really his disciple, wonderful disciple, near to his heart. That, my dear Ram Swarup was his name, that this body has gone very much old. It is not working properly, I cannot speak properly, I cannot function properly. It is hard for me to use this body. Can you arrange from the market a new body? That I may use that new body and that I may not be handicapped with this body, which will be really useful and workable for me. That was the thing. What was speaking in him? It was something, Godhood, which had been using the body of the man. But can you imagine that the body of the man is suitable for the working of God? It can never be possible. But he had to use the body for the purpose that there is nothing better available to him. But actually, he doesn't use the body, he uses his own self. And that we cannot understand. We only feel like contacting him, talking to him at the physical level, at the mental level, at the intellectual level. This is too low, too dirty, and too incapacitated for his working, for his contact. Anybody who has seen the master physically has seen something wonderful, really. But master says, close your eyes. Close your eyes. What he means to say, don't see to my body. You cannot find anything from my body. That is not sufficient that you may work with your body or you may look at my body. You come up as yourself and you may try to come and contact directly to me so that I may be able to work according to my competency, my perfection, and your soul may also be able to get really benefited. What is the result for you? This is something which we are to understand, but we have not understood it. What is master and what are we and how is our connection? At what level it is to be established and where we will be properly benefited. However, even if we look at his worldly actions also, we will have to put a hand on our heart to just keep it little, that it is not really bursting out. We will have to keep our heart whole. Their life in the physical body is something which we cannot bear. And master, sometimes I heard these ears saying that life of the master, nobody can imagine how hard, how difficult it is that anybody in this world, the worst in condition, will not suffer the same as the master is suffering. But why he is still smiling? He still looks to be nice. He doesn't feel that there is something. And you cannot feel any little frown on your face, on the face of the master, that if you have some pain, you will have to express your hardness physically, but he will not express in any way what he is going through. He has such a bearing power in him because of the love and devotion he has got, that the mother may be day and night serving the child, has not eaten anything, has not slept even for days. But when you look at her, she is cheerful. She is satisfied. She will never complain, because love for the child is there, that there is no complaint from the heart for anybody to whom you love and serve. Every kind of devotion and service and suffering you will be able to bear cheerfully, not with a frown, but cheerfully. That is the great lifestyle of the masters, that they are always cheerful and they keep all their sufferings in their own head self, and in the outside self, they are again the same thing. There are so many happenings in the physical body of the master even, but something that when I was there in the noon in my little house, then I had little idea. It came to my mind that there was also such happening in the life of the master. And then I had an idea that I will tell to the audience today, if it had come in, it had dropped down, let it be from the master himself. And that was in the early days when he had taken out the work to work as a master. There were not so many initiates at that time over there. It was about, I think, 2-3 years after he had started this duty. that there was an initiation, and some man came. He had killed so many people in this confusion of the bifurcation of India, which took place in 1947. That due to this bifurcation, there is so much migration of Muslims from Indian territory, and they were killed, so many of them. And some Hindu people, Sikh people were to be migrated from Pakistan towards India, and they were also very much slaughtered. There were great bloodshed in both the sides. And that man had killed way more than 15% even. Because in those days there was such like phase that it is something very essential, that is part of our spiritual life, that we have to kill others. Because negative power has no limits of its crimes to be done by us. It does itself, but it gets done from us. And we are persuaded so strongly that we take everything which is the highest sin, and that it is the biggest virtue. And that man had gone through such like killings, and when he came to the master did not accept him, that it is not, you are not ready for this purpose. But then someone was with him who was very near to the master, and he was advocated for him, and he was also very much insisting, please, where should I go now? I have come to you, and I feel that my life is there with you. Please accept me. And the advocator was also saying that please have it. Masters are generally very much generous. Master knew it is very, very horrible case. If I accept him, I will have to go through very, very hard consequences. Because when the master initiates somebody, he had to clean all of these sins of the past lives and also of this life up to the time that the initiation is to take place, and had to unburden the soul. And then after unburdening the soul, then it is able to come up of the control and clutches of mind and matter, and has to be connected to the holy light and sound and start a new life. And his karmas were so hard, that it was not possible for the master that it may be taken upon his this system of the physical existence, and that when he was pushed, and he could not deny then, okay, he had to yield. And that man was initiated. And after 2-3 days it happened that master was going outside somewhere, and that there is a city, Hapur, which some Indian people may be knowing who are living in UP or northern India state, that there is a river Ganges flowing through that, near to that city, and there is also a headworks of a canal which is taking off from the river Ganges. It is called Dasna Canal, and Dasna is this small city which is there near that place, and master was there, and it was quite a nice place. And master went downstairs and reached the water of the river, and then he was just looking at the river and water. His foot slipped down, and he was in the river. And just after this place, there was downfall, which called a fall of water, about 15 feet fall. It was that going down, and where the water falls, there is then concrete blocks which are made to check up the speed of the water which is coming down, staggered here and there, so that no water goes directly. If it strikes with one concrete block, it is okay, speed is gone, and which is gone by the side, it strikes the other block and the speed everywhere is gone. And further that, the normal speed of the canal water is going along, it is not creating any damage due to the over speed which is not controllable by that earth system. And but it churned so terribly, so horrible that a big noise and foam of the water is there. And the master went into that. And everybody was thinking that he is now no more. In this kind of action of the water, there is no for anybody. And that the attendants who were there with the master at that time were really at the end. And they were shouting. But what for to shout? What was the help? Who could help? And they also not were understanding what to help. They were only shouting. What has happened? What has happened? They also could not feel that if they can help in any way, there was no way. It was totally impossible. So everybody was at their ends. And that they were only in a great anxiety. What will happen? However, after about 5 minutes or something like that, some hand was available about maybe 250 meters down into the canal. And then it was little expected that there is some life perhaps, because if somebody is dead, then hand is not coming up, generally the body comes up. And that if there is somebody who is living, then he can extend the hands upwards. But still, nobody was feeling that the master can be alive, because situation of water, churning of the water, so hard. And then after a little while, the master was also on the available, and he was swimming, and he was coming towards the bank of the canal, and the people caught him, brought him up, and brought into some nearby hotel or motel, something like that. And the people were so many collected over there. Because in India there is some kind of such like love or general sense of sympathy, that if there's anybody tragedy with anybody, everybody will like to see and help if as best as possible, or at least have sympathy and will go to share the tragic situation with each other. They may or may not be able to help. If they can help, they will help. And when they heard that such thing had happened, that somebody has fallen into this fall and has gone through this churning action of water, and they told that person cannot be alive. After 2 days, there had been some cases that some people had fallen, but nobody was coming out alive, because it was not possible even. And that, what happened to this person? Then they were telling that this is the man. Master was telling, no, it was not I. It was other man. Master was written in a humorous mood, joking mood even. He had not really felt really hard. And that, what was his condition? That also you might be curious to know, that all clothes were totally torn into rags, and his shoes were also totally torn into fragments. That what he was having as clothes or as shoes, it was totally all destroyed. But he had not even a bruise on his body, that a little bruise even. And that he had gone to such a horrible system that nobody can expect that he can be alive even. But how it is possible that he has not even a bruise on the body? And he was himself telling that when he was in the water, under the water, he was having his master and the lights with him, and he had gone through this situation in payment of the karma of that person. whom he had initiated and who had done such like killings. And all the payment of that killings he had to take on his own body. And this was really a killing that person would have gone through so many times of killings in payment of his action of killing as that he was to be free. And now Master had to take up all the situation on himself, and he had also gone through this really a killing action. But he had gone through the killing action, but he was not killed because there was power which was there working in him, and that the body had gone through. But still the body was safe, and only clothes have been gone through, which were no difficulty, no problem. So nature provides in such a way that the Master has to do something, but is there, he has to suffer, but the people are saved. This is the heart of the Master. He knew already that this will happen if I initiate this person. What are the consequences? But knowingly, they have to accept it that I have to die for you. Oh my dear, if you are to have punished for death, you have come to me, I will give you life, but I will accept death for me. All sins I have to accept upon me. This is the heart of the Master. Is there anything that we can find in this world that this kind of heart is only with the Master, is only with God, and that such a competency is also there, that even if the mother may feel like that, my dear child, you should not suffer, I should suffer, she cannot attract the suffering of the child to herself, even she is asking for it, demanding for it, because it is not possible that she can do it like that. But Master has no doubt heart also for this purpose, but has also his power that he can attract all the sufferings of anybody who comes to him, and that these are not really rare examples, these are general daily examples of it, and that these sufferings generally Masters do go through, especially in the nights, that when they are alone and that nobody is there to look at them, then they go through all such situations which they had collected in the day, and they have to go through until the day dawn is there, and they are coming up from the bed out of their house. Then they have gone through all these things, and nobody had known, and they also not tell to anybody, because they cannot tell. If they tell, it is something very hard for him, and also very hard for those who will listen. It's not lawful. And he goes through very comfortably, lovingly, acceptably, in all love, in all devotion. Is there anybody you can find in this world, in past or in now or in future even, that who has got such like heart for us, that who can die for everybody? That person was not having any relation to the Master in any way. He was just a simple person coming from somewhere. But why Master had to suffer for him? What was the purpose? It was not that Master had to find something from him. Some purpose is there that he will be useful for. It is only love, only feeling of the heart that, my dear, I cannot see you suffering, I will help you, I will help you. Similar was an example in the times of the grandmaster of my master, Baba Jamat Singh. He was also in northern India. I think there is a place in Jagadri, and that some people were to initiate over there, and there was a rich man who came, brought by some people, that this person may be initiated. Master told it is not possible. I can initiate 100 persons, but I cannot initiate this one person. You bring more, 100 persons, that I will accept. But this one person I cannot. Then those people who had brought him, they were very much advocating, your master is a very rich person, very much influential, and if the person initiated and connected, our mission will really be wonderfully flourishing. And for the sake of the mission, and that please accept him and that he may be initiated. Master told, my dear, then after initiation, I will initiate you at your insistence. Otherwise, I have told from myself, I don't feel him to initiate. But if you insist upon, then I will accept it. But you are to arrange that all my bedding, etc., is all on the horse cart, and just after initiation, I will have to leave this place. I will not stay anymore. Otherwise, he was scheduled to stay over there for 1 day more. But then I will not be able to stay over here. Those people accepted this also. They told, okay, we arrange as you like, but this person is very useful, he must be initiated. However, the master initiated that person. And after the initiation, then at once he did not go back to the place where we are to take rest or stay. He directly went to that horse cart, because in those days, cars were not generally available. There were horse carts or bullock carts, something like that. And horse carts were generally appreciated very much because it was more easy and speedy even. And master's bedding, all other things were already packed up, and he was put he was to sit upon that horse cart and was taken to the railway station. He went directly to Bias, and there he was sick for so many days, about 14 days, very hard, very hard, very hard. And the people were really suffering such kind of situation of the master. And that man who was advocating very much to the master for initiation of that person, who had insisted really for that person, he also came to know about the sickness of the master, and that he came to see the master over there. And when he went over there, then he was asking the master what was the reason, what is the reason they are suffering so hard. Master was a little open-hearted. He told, my dear, I had told you already that this person is not entitled to be initiated. It is so hard, so hard. He would have suffered 14 lives in such like burning fires that he had to pay this karma, and then he was to be ready for this holy job after having paid off his karma. But now he had insisted, and I had to accept this soul, but then I had to take all this suffering upon myself, and what he had to suffer for 14 lives, I have suffered through 14 days, but you can see what is my condition. But why master has accepted it? He could have denied all the people. There was nobody to compel him. If somebody asks you, jump into this fire, maybe your own family members may say, your near and dear ones may say, but you will not jump, because you know I will die. It is simply death.